I'm Spencer and this is SMB Garage. Today we're working on the Project 914 once again. First of all, I want to start the video. Just thank you guys for all the support on the past videos. I'm now well past 300 subscribers, so thank all of you so much. Really appreciate all the likes and comments and everything you guys give me. So today we're going to be working on the shifter, which I've been sort of looking forward to / not looking forward to because it's going to be a little bit tricky to get it working. We're going to be running a cable shifter in this car, and we're basically going to be making it mostly from scratch. I found a couple of things in the junkyard that we're going to try to take advantage of, but we're going to have to fabricate most of it, so it'll be plenty fun. Sort of tricky though. Excuse my dirty face, by the way. I've already been working on the car a bit. So let me grab those shifters that I picked up from the junkyard and I'll show you what we're working with. So I bought two shifters. I got this one, which is from a 2G Eclipse, and this one, which is from a Celica, a 90s Toyota Celica. Can't remember what body style it is. Not the one with the 4 headlights, different one. They're both cable shifters though. Start with the one from the 2G. So this is the back, this is the front. We've got a point on the bottom of this lever, let's see, right here, that connects to a cable, and then another spot right here. So that pushes the cable in and out, and then when you go left and right, it moves that. So this is one option, is this big thing, and adapting this to work in the mid-engine car. Now, this is what I'm leaning towards more, is the one from the Celica. So it was hooked up to a cable on the bottom here. I'll have to weld the actual cable piece onto this because right now it's just a ball, like a ball on there, with a cap on it, but a little ball joint basically, for forward and back motion, real simple. And then left and right, it's actually got this set up so when you go left, it moves that way, and when you go right, it goes that way. So basically it's mounted like this in the car. Well, if I flip around, well then it's set up for a mid-engine car. The only thing is I have to build a base plate for it to sit on. No matter what, I'm going to have to get custom cables made. I just don't have the tooling to make that myself or the experience. But this video, we're just going to go talk about making the shifter itself. We'll deal with the cables and everything in the next video. I have a set of cables, though, that I can experiment with to make sure it's working. So I'm really leaning towards this one just because I like the size of it better. And the left and right motion just seems a lot easier to take advantage of. That one's real messy and stuff too, so I think I'm gonna go with this one. So first step, probably gonna try to cut this off. Weld. I'm gonna knock one of the nipples for one of these guys off of the Eclipse one and weld it to this so that I have a spot for the cable to go. And then we're gonna have to rip apart the interior so we know how big of a base plate to make. So I guess for the first step we'll just start pulling the interior apart. So guys, this car is a 2 liter, so I do have the center console with the gauges in it. I know it's sort of dark in here, sorry about that. So I do have to take that whole center console out in order to get to the stock shifter, which is basically just going in the trash, the actual mechanism. I'm tempted to keep the shift knob itself because it's sort of cool because it's a dog leg shift or gearbox in these stock. But it won't be a dog leg anymore, so who knows what I'll end up doing. But I'm just going to start taking it apart. It's just held together with Phillips head screws. There's part of it removed. So guys, I got the entire center console area removed. Now it looks like there's just 3 bolts for the shifter mechanism, and then 2 bolts for the heater handle, which is just getting taken out anyways, so get those removed. So as you guys can see, I got the shifter out, and that's where that heater control lever was. The shifter, the actual ball was right here, and it came all the way back to here, so I'm not quite sure where the most comfortable position is to have the new shifter located, because I can really put it anywhere in here. So I'm going to actually bolt the brackets to the seat, and I'm going to put the seat back in the car just so that I can basically find out where the perfect place to put the shifter is. So guys, I'm sitting here in the car, and I'm really liking the idea of having it just right here. which is just behind where the original shifter mounts. But the original shifter has a big long arm that comes back to about here. Well, this one is pretty standard. So right here, it actually works out perfect because there's this brace right in the middle of the car that goes across the front of the seat frames, and this will go right in front of it, which there's not really much here in the small little tunnel that we have. We just have the fuel lines in there, but not much else. So basically my plan is actually to build a box out of just, I think I have a 1/8 thick steel. Build a box for this to sit in, where it sits level, and I can actually weld it to the floor here just to bring the shifter up, because this is too low for me, I think. Actually want it a little bit up. I think, yeah, I think I want it just a little bit raised, especially so we can get the cables to clear this brace in the middle. So it'll raise it just a little bit, and then it'll be sort of long, just made out of steel so that there's a place for the cables to actually mount, and then the cables will actually come out and probably be exposed and just go through the firewall here. So my first step is I'm going to cut this off and actually try to weld that piece onto this, where this ball joint is. And then after that, we're going to start making the box that this shifter is going to sit in. So guys, I've got the shifter mechanism out of the Eclipse one, and I just want to get this guy off of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a socket, and that fits just over that perfectly, and I'm going to press that in the vise and hope that that can push it out. So let's see. Looks like there's a couple little tack welds on there, but I'm hoping that the pressure from the vise will be enough to break those. Well, it worked. I just gotta find where that piece flew off to. Okay guys, so I got this all cut out and I did a bunch of thinking, and this is what I came up with. Get it focused on there real quick. So basically this is going to be the plate that it sits on top of. This will be the rear of the car. This will be the front. See, I have it notched so that it can just slide in, and then 4 bolts for it to actually bolt on. I need to clearance it right here for room to go left and right completely. But as you can see, I have room for everything else, all the other motions. And you won't be able to see that from the top because the flange will cover that. So basically now I just need to create a box that comes down these sides, these 2 outsides and the front side. The back side will actually be open, and that'll be where the cables come out, and they'll go along the tunnel. So I actually have all the sides cut out to the perfect height as well, and the front. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bead on the inside, and then on the outside I'm going to do what do you call them? Like when you stitch weld a car, I'm going to do those style of welds on the outside. So I guess I'm just going to start welding this thing. So guys, after all that work, it looks like it's finally finished up. Let's check that out. So it looks pretty awesome, if you ask me. I even added a back piece with a big old slot for room for the cables to come out. But it's all stitch welded on every corner, which, if you ask me, looks pretty awesome. There's the shifter on top. It has its full range of motion. I think I'm going to leave this pretty much exposed. I might put a boot over just this part, but I really like the look of this guy actually, and it's super overkill because I've got all the stitch welds on the outside, which don't do much, but on the inside it's actually welded on every seam. So this thing is hardcore just for a freaking shifter mount. That's going to be the end of this episode. This is all I was building for this episode, is just this shifter mount. Basically, that is going to mount right on that tunnel where I, where I decide to. I've got that a big open area to do. I'm going to take these parts, which are basically the pieces that keep the cables in place, and cut them off of here. And I'm going to weld those inside of the car, actually. I'll do that next episode. That's going to be what keeps the cables from moving, and just has the sheath stay in place, but the inside of the cable actually moves. So those will be welded inside of the car, and the cables will actually be exposed. But this is all I wanted to get done today. The next episode, I'll be taking care of that, which will be super easy, super quick, and doing the actual transmission side of the shifter, which is going to be real complicated. I was actually really nervous about this part of the build, because it's gonna, it's taken a lot of sort of ideas and weird engineering, which I haven't done much of. But I'm actually really hopeful now. I've got tons of good ideas for what to do on the transmission side of the shifter. That turned out so well. I'm so happy with that. So yeah, I'm ready to get this thing running. This and then axles, and we should be able to actually drive the car once again. So I'm getting real close. That's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you like this video. Comment if you have anything to say, whether that's a question or comment. And hit subscribe if you want to see more of this. Besides that, that's basically going to be it, guys. Thanks again for watching, and peace.